You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. We made it to Friday. Oh, it's been a long week. It's been a long week. I gotta do that. I gotta do it every time I see Ben jamming. So, It's been a long day. It's been a long week. A ridiculously long week. And I'm just happy to be at the end. I'm also happy about other things. Every now and then, I complain about politicians. I don't care if they're conservative, liberal, independent, city, state. You could be the dog catcher if you get elected. I still complain. But every now and then, they get something right. And so I know that people will disagree with me, and I know that people will be upset with me, and some people will say it's a waste or whatever. But I believe that for once, Governor Evers did something right. Every now and then, right, you hear something that makes you remember that sometimes people are the way that they are because they haven't found their place. And so now, this person's found their place. That's just me. I believe this person has found their place. I believe that the state of Wisconsin has made a decision that will impact as it relates to representation, not going in and doing things that are pro-Black, put it like that. So one of the things that's important is now we can get an African American on the bench in the county, not to save Black people, but just to see that Black people get a fair shake, to balance the scale. When district attorneys and ADAs come in with these astronomical, can you say astronomical? Is that okay, I don't even think that's a word. Anyway, idiotic decisions and locking people up. But yet the white girl gets to say that she had marijuana psychosis, stabs her boyfriend 108 times, gets 100 days community service and probation. And then when the police show up after she stabbed him, she tries to cut her own throat. Well, she did cut her throat, right? So all the time she was doing it, she waited till the police showed up to cut her own throat. Okay. All right. Why is that? I don't know. We talk about an imbalance in the justice system. People continually blame the police instead of looking at a totality of whatever incident occurred. They just automatically blame the police. Well, you're pro-police. I was like this when I wasn't the police. Look at what everything that's happening and make sure that you do it with as little bias as possible. We're all biased. And so I think for once, what we'll have is a person who will take a step back. And I think we'll see a change. I think we'll see a deference in her personality so that she has to follow and when I say this ethical guidelines, right? of what it is that she's doing as a circuit court judge in the county of Milwaukee. So, like I said, every now and then, Governor Evers will surprise me. Every now and then, we'll get something that I believe is helpful to the community, not just the Black community or the white community, but a different lens for everybody to see. Today, Lena Taylor, state senator, was appointed a circuit court judge in Milwaukee. And so they make it a point that she ran for mayor and whatever, county executive, municipal court judge in the past. So instead of Daniel Bice saying, hey, this is what she did, he starts out, if at first and second and third, if you don't succeed in getting a six-figure job on the public dime, then just follow State Senator Lena Taylor's lead and land an appointment from the governor. Isn't that how everybody got most appointments from governor? That you probably didn't get what you wanted, or you tried something and you didn't get it, or you're in the private sector and you wanted to be in the public sector to drink from the trough, like I was. Yes, I admit it. I worked in the public sector. So why would you start it out like that? That's a little disingenuous. Nobody else stepped up but a few people to run for those offices anyway. The fact that you have to give credibility to someone who actually steps up and serves the public, unlike people who write for newspapers, right? Or media, or talk show hosts for that matter, right? See, that's the one thing no one can take away. I served. You didn't. You might have, but I don't know about it because I don't know people's personal. But I think the announcement puts to an end Taylor's extended quest for a high-paying post. Like, why would you say that? That the only thing she was trying to do is get a high-paying job. Like, where's that even come from? Where does that even come from? Continued service, a lawyer who wants to be a judge. How is that outside the pale? How's that beyond the pale? You have a lawyer who wants to be a judge. Most lawyers would love to be a judge. Why would you say that? Is she sometimes controversial? Absolutely. Both Evers and Taylor are Democrats, though the position is nonpartisan. I wonder how many articles are written about lawyers that leave the corporate sector and become judges and talk about their partisanship. Let's go through and find out who they gave money to. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Taylor did not return calls or text messages on Thursday. Circuit court judges make $164,487 a year, nearly 3 times the $57,408 annual salary for a state lawmaker. Why is that important? Wow, exclaimed one prominent Democrat at the city of Milwaukee's 177th birthday party at the Grand Exchange, where news of the appointment pinged about the room. I didn't have this on my 2024 bingo card. So now we're downplaying it and we're being dismissive. That's an important appointment. But once again, when a Black person gets something, we trash it. We dismiss it and we belittle it so that other people might think it's not important or they're really not up to the task. And it's unfortunate. In the end, all we can say is congratulations to Lena Taylor.
And that is Dr. Ken's
You better be on it, boy.
1017 The Truth.
Calling all Black-owned business and entrepreneurs. The award-winning 1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black Business Give Back. Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com for your chance to sign up to receive 3 months of free advertising on The Truth, valued at $6,000. It is that easy. Grow your business today by signing up for our Black-owned business Give Back. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com, member FDIC.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596 or visit www.kwwf.org. That's 800-506-5596 or visit www.kwwf.org.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there is never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices, one call, that's all.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas.
And Telly Hughes.
From Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. And guess what?
What is that, DT?
Our Truth fans can now watch and stream us live every day, Telly.
Wait a minute, Denise. Let me make sure I got this thing right. Our amazing and incredible Truth fans can go to 1017thetruth.com, click the watch live link, and watch me and you do our thing live from YouTube and Twitter every morning?
Yes, Telly, that is exactly right. So now they can watch you almost lose your black card every Friday during our Truth Telling Hit segment.
Come on now. You know I'm never losing my black card. But Truth Nation, you gotta tune into all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, as you can not only listen live on the app, but you can also stream us live all day, every day, by going to 1017thetruth.com and clicking the watch live link.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm just looking at all these texts I just got. Terrible. Terrible. That's all right. Payback. Payback is terrible, baby. Payback is terrible. Well, if I could tell y'all some of the stuff that's on my... So, talking text line, 1 hour of service for every stab she made. Shaking my head. Okay, here's where you're wrong. She stabbed him 108 times, but she only got 100 hours. I would have kind of been impressed if she had gotten 108 hours. So, the woman... Let me find this story, because this story just upset me. But anyway, in my open, I said, congratulations to Lena Taylor for being appointed a circuit court judge. All I could say is that's what's up. So woman gets probation for killing boyfriend And of course, it's in California. Ha! How do we know that? All right. So this from CBS.news.com. California woman fatally stabs her boyfriend over 100 times, avoids prison. That's that California idiocy that we talk about, right? We're going to undo justice by not holding people accountable today for stuff that happened before. So she was in a cannabis-induced psychosis, she's been spared prison time, a judge ruled on this past Tuesday. Decision drew sobs of relief from the woman and a rebuke from the victim's father. Bryn Spetcher, S-P-E-J-C-H-E-R, 32 years old, was sentenced to 2 years probation in Ventura County Superior Court. Last month, she was convicted of the 2018 stabbing of Chad O'Melia, a man whom she had dated for several weeks. Testimony showed she stabbed him over 100 times. It was actually 108. Then she stabbed herself after the sentence was handed down. The family cried tears, blah, 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 blah. The father said the sentencing set a dangerous precedence. He just gave everyone in the state of Wisconsin who smokes marijuana a license to kill someone. And he did. He actually did. The sentence was handed down nearly 4 years after Spetcher, whatever his name is, went to the apartment in Thousand Oaks where they took multiple hits from a bong loaded with marijuana. She had an adverse effect to the marijuana, suffered what experts call cannabis-induced psychotic behavior. She didn't go to sleep. Anyway, she didn't get hungry. During that psychotic episode, she stabbed Mr. O'Melia, killing him multiple times. Police who responded found Amelia laying in a pool of blood. She was screaming hysterically with the knife still in her hand, and before the officers could disarm her, she plunged the knife into her own neck. Officers used a tabor and multiple baton blows before they were able to disarm and subdue her. What? He was pronounced dead at the scene by several paramedics. Charged with involuntary manslaughter. And then people protested saying 108 stab wounds is a serious crime. Judge Worley, do the right thing. And so some knucklehead called Specter's lawyer, Bob Schwartz, said he's pleased. He did the right and the courageous thing. I say garbage. 833-212-1017 is the number. That's really unfortunate. That has made people understand that. But now do you understand the issue with the justice system? Many times. Not all the time, but many times it's not the police. It's the prosecutors and the judges. They control who gets charged and who doesn't, who gets off and who goes to jail, how light your sentence is or how heavy it is. But yet we constantly blame how you enter into the system by being arrested on the outcome of the system, which is controlled by judges. By and large, judges are fair, and you can always tell they're hiding when they say they follow the law. Take into account equity, take into account what happened to the person, all those things. Talking text line, they say she was possessed, not induced. A demon took over. A demon yeah, that demon is called marijuana, the weed. Yep. So at some point, when a black person steps up and says, hey, I have marijuana-induced psychosis, they're going to say, no, you're just evil, and you go to jail for 10 years. And not only that. Probation? Not 5 years probation, not 10 years probation. A man died. 2 years and 100 hours. So she probably doesn't have a job anyway. So if she does 40 hours a week, if she does 2 weeks worth of 10 days, 10-hour days. She's golden. Think about that. This man's life is worth 2 years probation and 100 hours of community service. Did they even say where he could do the community service? Probably not. Or she, whatever. That's unfortunate. But that happens to be the country that we live in right now. Everybody gets a fair shake. Not everybody gets a fair shake. It really is unfortunate. I just don't understand it. I think what I should do is go get the court transcripts and read them so that I can figure out what exactly made. They found her guilty. The jury found her guilty. And she gets probation. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. What can we do to counter decisions like this? Will Lena Taylor becoming a judge help people understand and recognize the rule of law, limit sentencing, limit charges, limit arrest charges? Like, something has to be done. Something has to be done, or, well, I know what'll happen. The wrong person will get jammed up, and then they'll fix it. The wrong person's son or daughter, grandson or granddaughter will get caught up, and then they'll fix it. But this is happening all over the country. I'm watching people get sentences, lawyers, judges, giving out simple things. Why? Because mommy and daddy got money. They got privilege. Because race is not the privilege. Money is the privilege. It's a great equalizer. The only problem is it should not equalize you from being affected by the law. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Traffic, sports, weather, and Benjamin. Up next.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.